Hello, everybody, and welcome to Southeast Iowa Union Prep Sports Plus, powered by Fairway Food Stores. And I'm in the studio here in Washington, Iowa, just steps, if you're an athlete like me and can walk anywhere, from the greatest place, the mecca of meats, the Greek temple of groceries. What's a cool country? What's like a big time city that starts with G? The Guggenheim, the mecca of meats, the Guggenheim of groceries, Fairway Food Stores, the best place to go for all your grocery needs. And I am here, Hunter. Yeah, I'm. I like the Guggenheim. I am here with Hunter. We're going to talk a little. This is going to be like a spring sports postseason preview because we are on the precipice of spring sports postseason. In fact, the reason I'm in the studio is because I'm going to be going over to Washington Golf and Country Club right after this for a little SEC boys golf. Might be able to update you because I have the live link throughout the thing, but it doesn't really matter because you could see it on Twitter online when you're watching this because by the time you see this, that means it's going to be over. But Hunter, we're going to talk a little soccer.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we start out with your journey to watch the Fairfield boys and the Washington boys showdown at Fairfield High School. Was it at Fairfield High School or Dexter?
Dexter Sports Complex.
Dexter Sports Complex.
Yes, it was.
When they get a scoreboard out there, we should sponsor it. It should be the
Hunter scoreboard. Yeah.
Oh, our faces could be the sports. Face. You can be home if you want. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and talk about a little soccer?
Sorry, I just screamed at the dogs. Yeah.
That's smooth.
The first time these two met up, it was a pretty close one, 3-2 finish with Fairfield, winning that one. And this time, the Trojans get it done, complete the season sweep over Washington. Did it in a little bit more dominant fashion this time, put up 5 goals, while holding the Demons scoreless in this Southeast Conference matchup. It was, kind of shaken out in the first half, like it was going to be another, close 3-2 finish. The Trojans just led 1-0 after the first half, but in the second, Fairfield really got it going offensively. Put up obviously 4 goals in that frame there. Big night offensively, 21 shots for the Trojans, only 10 on goal, which I guess it's a pretty good percent for soccer for scoring 4 goals on 10 shots heading towards the net.
40%. You wouldn't pass a test with that, but you'd pass you'd go into the Soccer Hall of Fame with a 40%.
Exactly. But so 5-0 win for the Trojans. Pretty big night for names we see in Fairfield's stat column. We've seen for Fairfield throughout the season, but Meng Truong and Ian Richards both finished the match 2 goals and 2 assists each. Caleb Huff had a goal himself, and then Meng Truong dished out 1 assist in the win as well for Fairfield. And then in goal for the Trojans, Henry Swan, 6 saves for him. So Fairfield 4-2 now on the season overall, and Washington 2-11 on the season. With the loss, let me pull up the boys soccer standings in the SEC real quick.
For sure. And hey, while you do that, yeah, you could talk. You did see Mount Pleasant boys against Washington boys, did you? Yeah, last Thursday. So you can give a quick score on that too.
Yeah, I'll pull that up real quick. But in the conference right now, obviously Mount Pleasant still leading the way, 5-0-1. Fort Madison right behind, 4-2-0. Fairfield's now 2-3-2 in conference. Burlington 2-3-1. Washington 1-6-0, and then Keokuk obviously season over last month. But for Mount Pleasant last week, obviously they were in Washington. Another pretty close match in this one. Mount Pleasant led 1-0 after the first half on a goal from Jonah Zimmer. He was a substitute, actually came in and put the Panthers on the board in that one. And then Washington scored early on. Jack Newman got his foot to the ball with, I believe it was in the 36th minute, so right out of the gate of that second half to make it 2-0, and really Washington just couldn't anything going offensively. And obviously Mount Pleasant, we've seen all season long thus far, has been pretty stout defensively. Cohen Cass kind of leading that back line. He is a stellar defender for the Panthers back there, kind of anchors them back there on that back line. Just a really solid group the Panthers have got. And it's why they're still without a Southeast Conference loss this season. 2-0 win for Mount Pleasant last week on Thursday. I think it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Right? Friday.
Yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah, Mount Pleasant on the boys' side just has a solid, full on team. I mean, the fact that Jonah Zimmer doesn't even have to start sometimes is pretty ridiculous because he's been one of the best SEC players leading up to this year. So, we got a couple more games. Mount Pleasant still has to go at Fort Madison, so that'll be a big one. So not totally decided yet, but Panthers looking good.
Yes, they are.
I was at a little girls' soccer. Let me talk about last night first. You know what? Actually, I saw a double revenge. I was Mr. Revenge. On Thursday night. I'll go Thursday night first. On Thursday night, I was at the Mount Pleasant Washington girls game. It felt like the third time that I'd been at one of their games in 5 days because remember they played, they got it postponed, and then they played again. Washington had beat Mount Pleasant 6 days prior. Mount Pleasant gets the revenge 1-0 against Washington on Thursday. Only one goal scored in the whole game. Sharisa Warda was able to put in a free kick after a penalty was drawn by Aurora Hummel, who had the game winner against Fairfield the game prior. So freshman from Mount Pleasant really stepping up with Panthers have a good amount of injuries, especially in that front line. Tori Wilson hasn't played in 4 or 5 games, has a head injury, so she should be my sources say she should be back soon, but that's a huge loss when you see how tough of an offensive player she is. But Panthers kind of stay; they're locked into third place right now in the conference, trying to get a big win over Burlington tonight. If you're watching this on Thursday, but so Mount Pleasant got revenge over Washington, and then on Monday night, the Demons they get revenge over the Fairfield Trojans. Fairfield had beaten Washington 1-0 in Fairfield earlier this year. Washington, the final score in this was 4-1. I'll tell you, it was a much closer game than 4-1 because Demons scored the first 2 goals. Amy Rangel had, by the way, this was on Southeast Iowa Live. The Southeast Iowa, oh, you can't see it, Video Network. We have one of those plaques for the Southeast Iowa Video Network. But Amy Rangel got it was like a rebound off of a corner kick that slipped out of the keeper's hands, and she was able to pop it in. That scored the first goal for Washington. It was 1-0 until 40 seconds left in the second half. Demons got a penalty kick. Anna Mata, who's one of the best defensive players that we cover, one of the best defensive players, in my opinion, that we cover in a while. She has a better boot down the field just to clear it out than anybody else that I think that we have on the field right now. She was able to come in for the penalty kick and score. So then it was 2-0 at half. But Fairfield kind of started. It was kind of like the way they played against Mount Pleasant last week, where as the second half went on, Fairfield just, you could kind of see the offense churning. They're starting to get more stuff going. Lexi Mastu had the game tying goal against Mount Pleasant in their 2-1 loss last week. Scored one upper half of the goal to cut it to 2-1. That was with 24:35 left in the second half. But 5 minutes later, Maya Murphy, she's just been excellent, in the center of the box. She slipped through, a little move to get through a couple of defenders, had a one-on-one with the goalie, scored it. That made it 3-1 Washington, and Nelly Cuevas, with 4:05 left, sent the dagger of all daggers in to make it a 4-1 game. So you see 4-1, you think that's a blowout type score, but it was a pretty close contest. So the Demons now move to 6-5 overall. So, and they're 3-4 in conference play. This is how our teams sit in conference. First off, Burlington 6-0-1 in conference. So they're coming into East Lake Park tomorrow night. I guess Mount Pleasant fans over at the park maybe let the gates in the or maybe rattle the cages of the dog park nearby. Get some extra noise in there because Burlington, pretty darn tough team to play. They will be in at East Lake Park with a chance to go to 7-0-1. Mount Pleasant trying to play spoiler there. Fort Madison 5-1-1, so they're a game behind Burlington. Then we've got Mount Pleasant at 5-3, Washington at 3-4, and then Fairfield and Keokuk are fighting for that fifth spot. Keokuk right now 1-6, Fairfield 1-7. So some stuff that's still up in the air in the SEC girls soccer and boys soccer. It's like no, we don't have it. Nothing is clinched yet in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go.
I mean, it's kind of what we expected from the Southeast Conference this season. Obviously, pretty tight race. All the teams are pretty. I mean, it's been pretty close. Obviously, I think on the girls' side, Burlington's kind of. I would say Burlington's had like the most dominant run through the season so far. Obviously, but other than that, I mean, it's been close pretty much a night in and night out between all the other teams. And on the boys' side, I mean, obviously Mount Pleasant's leading the way. Still hasn't lost, but I mean, they've had some close games. Obviously, tied with Fairfield. Obviously, close games with Washington, Fort Madison. It just feels like any given night, someone, either team can win.
Yeah, and speaking of girls, so Burlington and Fort Madison have played twice now. They tied the first time. Burlington beat them 3-0, so that kind of gives them a stranglehold unless one of our teams pretty much can come in and get some upsets. So that's all we got for the soccer report. When we come back, we got a little golf, we got a little tennis. We're going to bring you up to speed on this next few days. We're going to have a lot of postseason golf, postseason tennis, and stuff like that. So stick with us. We'll be back after this.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to your favorite show, Southeast Iowa Union Prep Sports Plus, brought to you by Fairway Food Stores. What I call it, the Mecca of meats and the Guggenheim of groceries. That's what they call themselves. Them, as well as all the sponsors that you see rolling right here. I can see it now. I'm in the studio. I see Uncle Neff's, great place too. We used to go to Uncle Neff's to pick our all union teams all the time. Need to do that again this year. And anyway, everyone that's been sponsoring us, on the little bottom thing, pretty much all those businesses have been with us for a long time. They're long time. We have a squad. We have a coalition of sponsors, and we thank all of them. We're gonna talk a little. We're gonna get our rackets out. Our rackets, our clubs, anything you can swing. We got tennis. We got golf. Hunter, you start with tennis. Let me know how we had just a couple tennis matches yesterday or on Monday, and then I will bring you up on the golf. Maybe I'll even get a live report on what's going on at golf right now, because this is taped before, but I have the live scoring up for boys golf. So go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, well, biggest story of our tennis coverage this season so far is Fairfield continues to dominate boys and girls side. I'm just running through the scores here. Fairfield boys 9-0 over Keokuk. The boys are now 12-0 on the season. Girls handle Keokuk 7-2, 10-0 on the season. So Trojans obviously have a player on each side, one boy, one girl. That'd be Room and Luau on the boys' side and Fujita Mukadam on the girls' side. Both ranked inside the top 5 in their respective classes. Obviously, I think the Fairfield girls are 1A and the Fairfield boys are 2A technically. Trojans just what a season they're having there on the tennis courts. Jumped over to Mount Pleasant. They were in action on Monday as well. Tough one for the Panthers teams. The boys lose a close one to Burlington 5-4, and the girls get shut out by Burlington 9-0 on the day. So, Fairfield in firm control of the Southeast Conference, and technically, I think, at least if you look at it regular season wise, no one can catch them.
I would say that even more of that, I think Fairfield is in control of the entire universe currently when it comes to tennis. 0 losses for the Trojans. So that's tennis. Now, tennis, we have our conference meets coming up, so we'll have those all on Monday. You got to get to, or I guess technically Tuesday's Southeast Iowa Union. You got to get it because it's going to have conference golf. It's going to have conference tennis. Going to have huge soccer games. It is going to be the big one. We have 2, as I speak right now, we have 2 conference. You just talked about all the tennis, right, Hunter? Yeah, you did. Yeah. We have 2 conference golf meets going on. I don't have the live scores right now. The super conference kids are in Wapello right now. And just a little bit away from where I'm sitting right now at Washington Golf Country Club, the SEC Boys Golf Championship going on. Washington, the favorites, even more the favorites because it just so happens to land in Washington this year. I can tell you through about 5, Washington leading at +10, Mount Pleasant number 2 at +18, Fort Madison, Fairfield, Keokuk rounds out the top 5. Right now, Cole Vetter and Drew Conrad, 1-2 for the Demons. Cole Vetter is -1 through 5, so you might be learning about a Cole Vetter Conference Championship, but Sam Ferrari of Mount Pleasant tied in 3rd right on his tail. Brody Engel and Andrew Myers. Ferrari's been playing very well lately. I think he was their 2nd scorer the other day. So, it's this year in the regular season, it's been Washington, and then most of the time Fort Madison. Mount Pleasant, I think, was 6 away from Washington one of those times, but that might have been the at Mount Pleasant meet. But Fort Madison has been in there. Fairfield's had some rushes up there. And then the girls' Southeast Conference tournament, which is next week. Keokuk is the favorite in that, Hunter. But we saw that they lost to Fort Madison the other day. They've only beaten a couple of our teams. Really, all 3 of our teams have a shot, Washington, Fairfield, and Mount Pleasant. So that's really the one that's up in the air, in my opinion, as far as SEC. Because boys tennis, Fairfield is going to have a couple of stumbles to lose, even as good as Mount Pleasant and Burlington are. And then girls tennis, say Fairfield and Burlington, are going to be battling out probably for the championship there. But girls golf, I think, is going to be quite the happening. And why don't I go ahead and see, remind myself where that girls golf conference championship is taking place at. It's next week, and it is, drum roll, Hunter. Can I get a drum roll? Drum roll. Is it going to be on a Wednesday? So next, it's going to be at Mount Pleasant Golf and Country Club. So Panthers hosting that one next Wednesday, and we'll give you live updates. Maybe I'll do that on From the Course. Maybe I'll go over to the golf course. Maybe I'll have it in the background next week. Maybe I'll park my car and figure out a way to put my computer and my phone so it's in the background so you can see the golf tournament going on behind me. I'm going to try to do that. I was going to do that today, but Washington's is you got the clubhouse and then you have I couldn't figure out a spot to go where I wouldn't be distracting. And I'm just a loud talker, I don't have one of those voices like Jim Nance.
You'll get to talking, and you're just like,
Yeah.
someone's teeing off, and
Again, their backswing. I'm like, that's a great point, Hunter. Anyway, so all that's going on. We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we're going to bring you up to speed on what's happening in track and field. And you think that it's getting down to it's getting to go time in the other sports, track and field, even more so. So when we come back, we're going to talk track.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Bring the kids, share the memories, celebrate 75 years of traditions at the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Relive the magic of steam engines, antique cars, and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Whether it's your first visit or a cherished tradition, you'll enjoy the delicious foods, the thrill of an Old West shootout, and the excitement of nightly grandstand entertainment. For 75 years, this has been the place where memories are made at the 2025 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 28th through September 1st in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Hello, welcome back. Southeast Iowa Union's Prep Sports Plus here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by Fairway, as always. Hunter, you have a busy day tomorrow night, don't you? We both have busy days tomorrow.
yes, sir.
Mr. Tennis tomorrow. I'm going to be running around. If you're at a tennis meet tomorrow, I'll be there. You'll see me. The SEC tennis slate takes the girls to Burlington, the boys to Fairfield. Hunter, you will be at some track tomorrow night. A little conference track.
Yes, I will.
And where will you be?
Well, I'll be two places. First off, I'll be heading to the Southeast Iowa Super Conference track meet in Waco. Love it when it's usually always there.
Waco does a great job. They should. They also host the state qualifier next week, and they should.
Last
never
year,
not host.
the state qualifier was in Sigourney, and it kind of threw me off a little bit because I'm just so used to it. But I'll be heading there, and then I'll be heading over to Fairfield for the Southeast Conference track meet, which should be another doozy. Should be another another great event that comes down to a couple events. So far on the girls' side, it's pretty much Mount Pleasant, Washington, the top of the leaderboards throughout the season, and then on the boys' side, Fairfield's won, Washington's won, Fort Madison's won. I'm really excited to see how it all plays out tomorrow night.
Yeah, the points are going to be so. The girls is just going to be like it's going to be like that meme when those two professional wrestlers. It was like icon versus icon or whatever. That's what Mount Pleasant versus Washington is. They're at the perfect neutral site. Fairfield should be able to win some events too, but Mount Pleasant, Washington have been pretty much only losing to each other locally. and it's going to be a battle, and they're good at a lot of the same stuff. So the boys is going to be like a math. I think it's going to be a math crunch because you're going to get probably a lot of Fairfield points in the jumps. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of Washington points in the throws. Depending on Avon Trong for Mount Pleasant's health, he hasn't jumped since he got hurt a couple weeks ago, but that could be points with long jump and then some sprints and hurdles from Mount Pleasant. Fort Madison is awesome in the sprints, so I'm guessing that's going to be whoever wins that. It's going to be one of the lowest scores because it's going to be so competitive throughout. And then I think it's a little the opposite of the girls. I think it's going to be as I said, the ultimate showdown, Mount Pleasant, Washington.
I agree. It's going to be. It's been close all year long, and there's nothing really else to say other than it all comes down to who shows out tomorrow night.
It all comes down May 8th at Fairfield High School. Now I'm doing the meme that you guys don't even know what I'm doing. I'm doing that guy who used to prank call people, and he would talk like real professional, and then he would just be trying to sell tickets to the WWE event. And he'd be like, "This Friday night SmackDown, John Cena." Look him up. Very, very, very funny.
Champ? Is Champ there?
Who is Champ?
That question will be answered this Sunday night.
That's all I got, Hunter. I got to go watch some golf.
That's all I got too, man.
Golf.
That's all I got too.
You have fun. You have fun tomorrow night at track. I'm Mr. Daytime. Hunter's Mr. Nighttime.
Hopefully we don't go till about 10 o'clock, but I feel like that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, SEC track does. It flies a little bit because it's just the Southeast Conference teams. One, there's less heats, but two, it just everything seems more like there's more like moments where somebody wins a conference championship, so it's not like a normal track meet. But my tennis drags on too.
Oh yeah, remember that one?
I'll be rushing. Yeah.
Not to jinx you, but last year you were there till like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that was regionals. There was, it was like last year, 2 years ago. They've changed the rules a little bit because next week we'll have golf and tennis postseason, like the regional meets. The team tennis tournament, I believe, starts next week. So it'll be a huge test for Fairfield tennis next week. That'll be fun. And Mount Pleasant. I think Mount Pleasant can make some noise. Maharishi the same on the girls' side. So, we'll see. But it's going to be action-packed, so stick with us. You got to read the newspaper. You got to watch the show.
Yes,
you got to follow us on social media at Union Sports Page. I'm going to try and get the results for golf tweeted out as quick as I can today. And that's it. You just got to stick with us. There's a lot going on, Hunter.
Stay tuned. Busy time of the year. Then we'll be. Then we'll finish up this spring season with a little blue oval track.
We sure will. And then we have a little bit of soccer after that. That always, once we get off of state track, we always have like a softball game the next night. And then I've got a graduation party. Shout out to all the kids that have.
Track. It's interesting how track. It's always like graduation's like the next day after state track. It's weird.
I'll tell you what, I've gotten a few. My wife gets a lot of graduation invitations from being a teacher, but I've gotten a few that were. That I think were my invitations from our athletes this year. So
there you go.
One of my favorite feelings is when I get a graduation invite. It's one of the athletes, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, we got an invite." I said, "Do you have him or her? Do you have them in class?" She teaches geometry. She's like, "No, I never had them in class." And I know.
You're like, that's me.
Oh, there's that. All right. Awesome. Peace out.
All right. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Bye-bye.